Welcome to my living room. If you didn't know it about me, I'm a professional 231-pound strongman. I do have a competition at the end of May called the Pro Strongman League World Championships. However, I also have always thought it would be really sick to be like a Spartan from Halo or Captain America. Just see what my absolute limits are and push them as far as I can. So this week, this video, I'm testing out my maxes on like a broad range of random things that I've decided are important to me and that I would like to push over this next year. So then I'm gonna take these, we're gonna train really hard this year with a focus on these different areas and see what the heck is possible with a lot of focus, with some intent, with some plan behind it. And I've decided to bring you guys along with me because doing it alone sounds a little boring. So let's get into it. Day one of test week. The first movement I'm gonna be testing is the power clean. We're gonna be going for a 1 rep max. I don't do a ton of power cleaning, or I haven't been doing a ton of power cleaning. Obviously in strongman, we do similar things. I do axle cleans, I do log cleans. Completely different really than the form with the barbell. It's a lot more athletic. While there's a lot of carryover and a lot of similarities, especially in like the athletic catch position and having that good powerful pull, there's a lot of more technical stuff going on with the barbell. So this is like a true starting point. I know I wanted to get 300 or 400 the other day. That was really delusional. I've never done anything over 330, I don't think. I tried for 350 a couple times the other day and missed it pretty badly, but my form needs a lot of work. I need a lot of reps on this thing, so it's gonna be fun to hop in here and see where we're starting at. Yeah, let's get freaking after it. All right, you're my boy, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I knew at 335 or whatever the heck it was, I shouldn't go up. That was probably I'm going way too wide with my feet, hurting my hands. I haven't worked out in over a week. Last thing I did was go to a wedding, had a good time. But I missed 355 last time and I wanted it bad. So we turned up the music, got a little angry. Was it ugly? Yeah, I don't care. We're gonna fix up the form, and I'm gonna be so honest, when I fix up my form, brother, I think 400 plus pounds is very doable, very feasible in this coming up training cycle. By the end of this year, at least, fix up my form, dude. I've done this twice in the last 6 months. Oh, sorry, I'm a little amped. We're gonna move on now. Next thing is gonna be a 3 rep max trap bar deadlift. Vince, why trap bar deadlift? Honestly, I don't know. If we're being completely honest, when I woke up this morning, I didn't know we were doing this test week, day one. But the Army has you do a 3 rep max deadlift on a trap bar. The max is like 350 or 360. So we're gonna see what the top peak is there. I think I'm better at regular deadlift than trap bar deadlift. The trap bar is more like a squat. I'm a very glute, low back dominant individual, so my quads are a little bit behind the curve of my overall strength right now. So this should be I foresee this being lower than what I would usually deadlift. That's also beneficial because my back has been injured. I need to keep the weight a little bit lighter. We're gonna go as heavy as I possibly can on trap bar deadlift. And I haven't deadlifted heavy since my competition in November, and it's currently January 28th. So it's been months. I have a little thing that hurts right there, but since when do I let that control me? I'm yapping too much. Let's do some deadlifts. We got 600 pounds today. While I know I'm capable of a lot more, I'm not super mad about that. Like I said, I haven't deadlifted in a bit. My back held together. I was kind of feeling it, especially after the 500 set, and then I jumped from 500 to 600. What are you gonna do? But didn't do anything wonky. Hopefully it stays like that. So I'm not super mad about the 600 today. I know trap bar's not my best thing. Anyways, moving on, we're gonna do an AMRAP on bodyweight pull-ups. I don't know what I'm gonna, normally I think I could get around 15, but we're pretty warmed up per se. Let's see it. I'm actually starving right now. Okay. I might have cheated on that last one. I think that was either 15 or 16, which is both more and less than I thought I could do. All right, last thing we're gonna do today is the 250 meter row. And while that is CrossFit, and I usually frown upon CrossFit, it's under a minute, should be under a minute, so it doesn't really count. Now, normally I've done sub 40 on it before. It's a lot in the biceps, it's a lot in the back. I don't know why, I'm pretty gassed right now. My body's feeling a little gassed. Literally just got off the pull-up bar. Probably gonna give myself 5 to 10 minutes, a little bit of a break before I hop on it. In terms of goals, I eventually would like to get low 30s. I think the world record is like 31, 32. I'd have to look it back up. I think anything 36 or lower is like pretty crazy. So I'd love to see that. I wouldn't mind beating a world record, but it's not really my realm. So it would be, I think, difficult. Anywho, let's get to it. That's it for test day one. All in all, pretty happy with today. 355 on power cleans, that's a PR. 600 on 3-rep max trap bar deadlift. 17 pull-ups after reviewing the tape, more than I thought I could do. And then right between 39, 40 seconds for a 250 meter row. About right where I knew I could be. I definitely think too, dude, when I was pulling that, I was trying to do the form, good rowing form. I don't have good rowing form. At the end, I was just like, all right, dude, we're a big, powerful guy. Let's just rip this thing. And that's where I feel like it was starting to move. So it's almost just like, for a 250 meter row, you just gotta rip that thing. And I think we can do better. I'm excited to do it. I think I'm gonna be really sore tomorrow. But that was the end of test day one. Feeling good going into this thing. Excited for what's to come. Day two of test week. Today we're gonna do my split jerk PR off of blocks. Eventually I'd like to put together the clean into the split jerk. Not right now, we're just gonna get a starting point for where we're at with that. Not really used to barbells. Do a lot more doing this with axle and log. So this will be interesting to see where we're at. Should be over 300, probably not that much heavier. And then gonna do my incline bench PR just to see where that's at. Not really a thing I've ever taken a PR on and then systematically pushed over a training block. So be cool to see some starting points with these things and then set some goals and see what we can do over the year. Let's get to it. All these boxes kind of make me claustrophobic. Set two. I don't really feel like taking small jumps today, so we're just gonna get after it. gonna go a lot better today if I can catch it over my head. Up and back, basically. The real problem is I don't have the mobility to have it in the palm of my hand. That was way better though. It's lightweight, I just know the form thing. I'm very worried about clipping my own shin, knocking myself out. Really solid. Kind of did something weird with my breathing, but really solid. Probably where I'm gonna stop today, unless it feels really easy, which I feel like it might. Y'all mind if I hit this real quick? One second, give me a minute. Give me a minute here. That woke up my back injury. That was literally like a minute later. Dude, it's so annoying. It's like something right here. It's just in that, it happens in, anytime I push through an overhead press in some capacity. Stupid, oh well. I'm glad I got that weight. I knew I could get that weight. That didn't feel hard. It felt like I just hadn't used enough leg drive, but I knew I had the capacity, so that's why I went for it again, and I got it. The back, it woke it up a bit. I don't think it's that bad. Just gonna keep focusing on my core work and some rehab stuff, doing my stretches. Anyways, it's feeling better already. We're gonna call it there. Not because I think that's an absolute max. I do think I could eke out maybe another 10 pounds. That was 353. So I think I'm right in that realm. Especially if I get my form even better to be able to drop under the bar even further. Dude, we could get this, we're gonna get this over 400 pounds in this training cycle in this year. So we're gonna get the clean to 400 and then we're gonna be able to split jerk it. So doing that from ground to overhead is like my big goal. The back's feeling a lot better even just standing here. Hopefully it stays like that and doesn't hurt a lot tomorrow. That'll be fine, right? Man, this is not gonna be as heavy as I would like it to be. All right, watching that back, I felt it move way slower than what the videos seem to show, so I guess I'm just being soft. 255 loaded up. Hey, if this doesn't go up, I need you guys to help. I feel like it's too low. Oh. Definitely not far off. 265 maybe, 275. In my head, I'm getting stuck way longer in that sticking point. It feels like it's moving super slow. And then I watch the video and it's like, blasted through it. All right, big dog, 275 loaded up just because I can. Let's make this John happy. Easy. I was about 35% sure I was gonna get that. Let's go. That's day 2 of testing done. On to the next. Today's topic, lifting heavy. Main objective for the day is to find a 1 rep max front squat. It's gonna be not great. Not looking forward to it. I don't think it's gonna be that heavy, but I'm not gonna dwell on that because after that we're gonna hit a bit of a leg day and then I'm gonna play with some rocks, which will be a great time. I can press this overhead, so press I can put this overhead, so theoretically, it should be easy. Now the question is, do I go up by 20 pounds or by 50? Those are the only two options. 365 loaded up. I have a feeling this is gonna feel really heavy, but I don't think it's gonna be that heavy. Didn't really feel that heavy either. We'll go up. I was gonna do a stop at 385, and then I was like, you know, if I can do 385, I might as well do 405, so. Told you. Probably gonna end it there. Watching that clip back, it looks like it moves pretty well, like pretty easy. Obviously it's not like super light, it's not an RPE 5, but I feel like it's nothing heavier than like an RPE 8, if that makes sense. My main issues are, I feel it a lot in my knees, like almost exclusively in my knees. So gonna continue rehabbing that, gonna continue working on this. I don't think I've ever done 405 on this before. I think I've tried with really bad form and hurt my knees, so that's probably a lifetime PR. Neat. I think I can get this to 500 pounds over this next year, especially with some dedicated training for it, some more squatting because I haven't been doing a ton, and some very dedicated knee rehab. I've been rehabbing my knees for a long time, but if you're anything like me and you're rehabbing, but you're not actually doing the rehab and the work and consistent effort, like when it's feeling good, you still do it, you're not gonna see progress. So let's me and you together commit to doing our rehab and actually doing it, even if it feels good. You don't fix your roof when it's raining. Cool? This is where I lift rocks. We're gonna start by lifting the little ones, and then we're gonna work up to the bigger ones. My heaviest rock is 440 pounds. I'm not gonna lift that today. I don't like training with tacky. Tacky is the sticky stuff you'll see strongmen use. It's like tree sap almost, but thick, super thick. And despite being really thick, it got taken away from me at an airport for being a liquid. All right, anywho, I think this one's like 175. It would be neat in this year-long like training cycle journey to also lift the 440. That's this guy. I don't know if you can you even see the rocks? It's a boulder. That's not a rock. It's actually 458, so very heavy. Heaviest I've ever loaded is 440, that's with tacky. So if I'm ever able to load a 458 without tacky on, that's like really crazy back strength to like hold it into your body, and then really crazy like front squat strength. Obviously if I front squat 500, it's gonna be a lot more likely to load a 458 stone. That actually be a really sick goal. That might be my like one main goal for the year. It's loading a 458 stone to 52 inches, which I don't know what this is set at, without tacky, because that's like crazy strength. I might have just set my new goal, besides all the other goals I have. Anywho. Don't get it twisted. If you train like a strongman, if you train with strongman equipment especially, your body's gonna get beat up. You're gonna be bleeding more than you're used to. You're gonna be hurting it more than you're used to. You're also gonna be grittier than more than you're used to. It's a gritty sport. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes it sucks. That's life. Lift heavy, get over it. That was it for today. I'm gonna hit the rest of my leg day, but all we did today really was max out that front squat. Pretty happy with 405. I don't think I've hit that ever before. I know I have a lot in the tank. I think 495. I think I'm gonna blow through that, but we'll see over this next year. It's the last day of test week. We're gonna be doing max overhead press and max close grip bench. Close grip bench isn't something I actually like. It's one of my main tested things that I care about, but I'm gonna be doing it in my workout, so I might as well see where we're at. I've done 260 in the past, but with having got 275 on the incline bench, knowing where my static strength is at currently, I'd be happy with anything over 245, I think, today. So we'll rip that. The close grip bench could be anywhere from 335 to 405. So that'll be interesting too. Getting loosed up. Dude, for some reason, everything's been hurting lately in all of my pressing, especially the incline bench and this. It's pretty bizarre. Don't know what that's about. I'm gonna ignore it till it's a problem. It's like that one sticking point, like right here, something's going on. That was 185, it did not move that well. Oh well, we're gonna keep going up, see how high we can get. Honestly, if I don't get up to 245, I'm probably gonna cut out this entire section of the video. Ooh, that'd be terrible. Well, 205 done. I'm not feeling super great about this. If I can't rip this right now, I'm actually gonna be pretty bummed. Let's go. It's pitiful, man. It's not very good. I think it's more of something going on in my arms right now than like a strength thing, but still pretty pitiful compared to where I've been, compared to where I should be. That's all right. That's all right. All this was a starting point, right? This starting point hurts my soul. If we're being honest, I very much want to just delete this whole segment and not have it in there, because 225 for an overhead strict press is what I hit in 2020, 2021. Took me a long time to go from that to 260, and now being back at 225 saddens me. However, I gotta keep in mind, this is about the journey, all right? Especially for you guys that haven't even been with me since 2020. And I think it's more of whatever's going on in my elbows right here. I don't know if that's true. I'm just weak right now. Stop making excuses. But I think it's gonna come back quick. So you guys are gonna get to watch me go from this pitiful, what I deem as a pitiful 225 to at least 275, if not 300. 300 is the goal. I'm gonna set 300. 300 is gonna be the goal by the end of the year. Crazy strict press goal. Crazy strict press goal, especially starting at 225, which is just gonna make the gain look a lot crazier. So we're gonna keep that in there. You get to come along for that journey. I'm being vulnerable with you, all right? You better be grateful for that, because I don't even want to be vulnerable with myself. That's brutal. I'm gonna forget that happened. Anywho, close grip bench. We're just gonna go up by 20-pound increments now. Very good. If you're gonna do a heavy bench max, you should definitely have a spotter. I'm probably gonna call that good. Oh, is that a hernia? Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Outside of the gym, I also went and did a bod pod, which is just a way to measure your the body fat you have on you, like your weight, what's body fat, what's muscle, everything like that. So this little John
says I'm 17.2% body fat. Not exactly where I'd like to be. So weight of 230.2, free floating muscle of 190, and then fat mass, I think, is 39. So that's how that all works out. My goals going forward over this is to get down to somewhere between 13 and 15% body fat. It's not necessarily that I have a body fat goal. I just think, one, it'd be sick to be leaner. Two, I don't want to I need to have a range, and I need to have like a limiter, because it's like, do I want to push my absolute strength in all these areas and just get fat? No, I don't. So being between 13 and 15% body fat is my goal. I'm currently 230. I have been up to 260 in the past. So I think my initial plan is to cut a little bit more to get down to that more lean number of that 13 to 15, and then put some size back on. I would love to, by the end of this year, I know I compete at 231, but I would love to get back up to 245, 250, potentially 260 if we can keep it lean, right? And keep it solid, mobile, just like a freaking machine. Alongside the bod pad, I also went and got some of my blood work done. Some of those numbers I was stoked to see. So my testosterone was at like 916, which is pretty high for a natural athlete. So that was awesome to see. I actually thought it was low. And I thought that's why I'm sometimes lethargic, tired, or whatever else. Apparently I need to find a new excuse. So pros and cons to that, I guess. The one number that was a little concerning on there, not concerning, it was like red, whatever, a little bit low, was my HDL, which is, I think, my good cholesterol. Basically, what I've learned from that is that I just need to do a little bit more steady state cardio for like 20 minutes, a few times a week. So I'm gonna start doing that as well. With the nutrition stuff, I also started working with a coach, a nutrition guy specifically, to get that dialed in. Haven't really ever really dialed in the nutrition, and I feel like I've done pretty well without that. So it'll be exciting to see the changes when I'm really focusing on it, when I'm intent with it, and we'll see what happens. And that's the end of test week, which was an absolute blast, obviously, just going for maxes and all these different things, finding new things that I don't usually test. Very cool, doing the bod pod. I'm gonna do the bod pod monthly from here on out and kind of document that. And then just document the journey as I get into the meat and potatoes of this. As fun as it is to just test maxes all the time, the real training, the real bulk of progress comes from nose to the grindstone, kind of boring work, just putting in the grind week to week, day to day. So that's what the rest of this is gonna be, the journey, seeing how far we can push these things in these different aspects, as well as competing and winning and being good at professional strongman. So appreciate you guys watching. If you've watched this far, you're a freaking legend. Life's short, lift heavy. Time to go to the gym.